This is FE Peer Review. The date is March the 5th, 2025. Rainbows are pretty, but don't require a firmament. This little video popped up in my feed, and I saw the title, Unbroken Bow, Unbroken Covenant, Wits It, Gets It on Evidence for the Firmament. It was that bit about evidence for the firmament that caught my eye, and I thought, I'm going to check this out. So I went over and took a look at the video. There's a link to it in the description. And before I even watched the video, I left a short comment, which you can see here. Evidence is not what's in a book. Evidence is the physical facts observed in nature. If what the book says matches the evidence, cool. But if not, it takes a lot more than a book to refute the natural evidence. And that's really what kind of caught my attention in this video, and this issue here is the nature of evidence. So the person making this video, he starts with a quote from Genesis after the flood waters have receded and God brings out a rainbow and makes a promise that there will always be rainbows and there will be no more floods and so forth. And then he kind of just goes on about that for 6 minutes and never actually discusses evidence for the firmament, which was a bit of a disappointment. I was curious to hear how they would try to, what they would claim as evidence. He didn't really even claim anything in his book was evidence. He just was kind of, musing about what Genesis said. But I still think it's worth commenting on briefly. So he did show a bunch of images. And at one point, I should have marked the moment. At one point, he said that rainbows require bowl-shaped reflective surfaces. I'll find that spot. Pause the video here and find that spot. Okay, I'm muting the video, and I'm just going to play a moment of it here. He has some words on the screen. Requirements for rainbows. Water. Light, bowl-shaped reflective surfaces. Now that caught my attention. I can't say I'd ever heard that one before. So I left a little response to that, 544 timestamp. Bowl-shaped reflective surfaces are not required for a rainbow. First, note that when you see a naturally occurring rainbow in the sky, you will see it opposite the sun. In other words, if you stand with your back to the sun, the rainbow will be in front of you. Second, note that in some of your photos, the rainbow appears in front of nearby objects such as hills. Timestamp 214. Let me bring that up. So here we see the rainbow coming down, and it's in front of this hill. In fact, this faint second rainbow, you can see right here that it's in front of the hill also. So if these colors are appearing on a bowl-shaped reflective surface, that surface must be in between the photographer and the hills. Those hills don't look very far away. Looks like you could walk to them in a few minutes. Third, note that you can create a small rainbow in your own backyard by turning your back to the sun and spraying a mist with a garden hose. This rainbow will appear to be just a few feet in front of you, and obviously there's no bowl-shaped reflective surface between you and it. Now, if anybody watching this doubts what I'm saying, there are plenty of videos on YouTube showing how to make your own rainbow in your backyard with the garden hose. Here's one. I'll put a link to this one in the description. But there are many more. A quick search on YouTube will show many videos on how to make a rainbow with a garden hose. So there you have it. A little thought about evidence and this unsupported statement that a bowl-shaped reflective surface is required to make rainbows. Sorry, but you didn't present any evidence. There's no evidence for the firmament in this video. It was nice to hear the Bible passage, but what it says in a book is not evidence. And I'm going to elaborate on that just briefly. That applies to any book. A science book. I can take a science textbook, and what it says in that book is not evidence for the phenomena it's describing. It is a record of the evidence. The evidence is what was observed, what was found, the results through experiments. These things are evidence. They are then recorded in a book. Let me put it another way. I'm sick, I go to the doctor takes a blood sample, they send it to a lab, they test the blood sample, and they send a report back to the doctor that says, so-and-so has X. That report is not the evidence that I have X. The blood sample is the evidence. Okay, that's enough. If that's not clear enough, then there's nothing more I can say to help. Hope you're all having a great day. Spring is in the air here. Kitty spent the entire day in his garden while I did lots of weeding. We had a lot of fun, and hope you're all enjoying your beginning of spring as well. Remember to hit the like button, not too hard, and subscribe if you haven't, please. Share this with a friend if you'd like. And of course, comments. I love comments. Bye-bye.